Hey guys, Coach Julius here, and today I'm going to talk about sadness and sorrow and joy. So, how does Coach Julius deal with sadness? How do I deal with sorrow? The first thing that I do is I have to identify what is sadness, what is sorrow, and what is joy. So let's put another one, happiness. So we're going to put these four: joy, happiness, sorrow, sadness. How does it look, and how did Jesus deliver me from sadness? Well, the first thing that I had to understand is sadness happens when your perception of a certain outcome didn't happen, and there's a level of discouragement, there's a level of pain that happens when a certain mindset was not achieved. Sorrow is a progressive mourn, right? It's when that sadness keeps going because there's a conviction that either you did something wrong happened to you, and the environment is causing you damage, a loss. Something in your parental view of perception is wrong, right? You have sadness, you have sorrow, you feel like certain things are not the way it is. It's a conviction that something is wrong, and you ponder on it, and you ponder on it. Then you have something that's happiness. I call that the temporary dopamine. You have a temporary dopamine in your system. Okay, now happiness can be a false moment of reality. Something happened, you have happiness, but it's also not long lasting because happiness has an ending, right? Until the next problem comes. But what lasts forever? What lasts forever is the joy of the Lord. Now, the joy of the Lord, okay, is my strength. We have to understand where that came from. First of all, the joy of the Lord was Jesus. The joy of God was His Son, His perfect Son on the cross, right? So that was Jesus, His perfect Son on the cross. And God found joy in Him. He was pleased in Him. Now the word strength, right, means stronghold in Hebrew. So now we know that Nehemiah and Ezra had a stronghold because they couldn't keep the law. So the law became their stronghold, and they were gashing of teeth when Israel received the law of Moses. They couldn't keep to it, and they had a stronghold. So now when I say the joy of the Lord is my strength, it means the cross, salvation onto Jesus is power, right? That's the word onto salvation is my power. Okay, so the joy of the Lord is my strength means the joy of the Lord is my stronghold. It's so powerful. And a stronghold is something you cannot break from. Now the joy of the Lord is knowing what Jesus did on that cross was enough. Now where do we see the example of Jesus weeping? Jesus was sad. And John 11, Lazarus, his sisters comes. They keep crying at his feet. Lord, if you were there, my brother would have been spared. And then the Jews went with the sisters mourning, and Jesus turns around and he starts weeping. Now there's two perceptions on this. He was weeping because he was feeling sorrow for them because they had so little faith in him. And secondly, he was weeping because he had compassion. It was his best friend. Okay, so we see two aspects. Jesus was compassionate. He was in our flesh. He understood the pain that we went through. So there's nothing that you can go through in life that he did not experience himself. So now he looks at that and he starts weeping, which means he showed compassion. And he was also saddened in his heart. He was sorrowful. He was hurting because he realized their faithlessness was causing them damage. So in this scenario, faithlessness was keeping him sorrowful, was keeping him painful. But in the Lord, the finished work of the cross, knowing who you are in Christ Jesus, your sonship, your identity, your fullness in Christ, that is when you realize the joy of the Lord. What Jesus did on that cross is your strength. It is enough. And that joy is everlasting. It's always there. It's your fulfillment. Happiness is a good moment. Sadness can come. Something that happens. Sorrow is not there. But the joy of the Lord outperforms all of it. It overweighs it. It demolishes it. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And Jesus had compassion. And he goes to Lazarus and says, Lazarus, come out of the grave. And right there he disarmed sorrow. He disarmed sadness, and he disarmed faithlessness, and showed his compassion. And in that he represented what the joy of the Lord was: triumphing over the fear, triumphing over the loss, triumphing over the mistake, and realizing that that's the foundation for the joy of the Lord to come and become your identity, your strength, and have more eternal fulfillment, starting from the moment you realize that Christ is enough. He is in you. That is your value. You are Him. He is in you. You are a son of the Most High God. You are more than a conqueror. You are a son. You are a royal priesthood. And you are lived by grace. You are royalty that already has everything that you operate in that fullness from. Guys, stay blessed. And until next time.